concluded games. West Ham United won, Tottenham nil. Get in. Tottenham came to Upton Park. They've only lost one game away from home all season. That was on the opening day at Old Trafford. We are now 14 games unbeaten at home, 12 in the league. Gonzo, you must be a happy hammer.
It's unbelievable, unprecedented season. It's hard to be analytical, which is what the nature of the show is. At times like this, this is what we dreamed of. We had a good result at the weekend. We would have dreamed of beating Sam, and then to sort of go some way to derailing Tottenham's title ambitions. It's fantastic. And then you look at the game as a byproduct. I mean, do you want to tell everybody else the results? They've just finished at the point of recording this. Our own ambitions. Look at where we are in the league.
Well, that's the very end of the show, and I'll be putting my two guests on the spot. The other guest I've got with me, Tom. Before the game, were you nervous given Tottenham's away form?
I'll admit I was quite nervous. I thought they would come in here fired up, knowing that Leicester dropped points yesterday. I know they changed a couple of things around, but they've changed the team a lot this year, and they've still pulled results out of the bag very often. I think when we got into the game and the first half started, you grew with confidence. But certainly, I would have accepted a point at the start of tonight, maybe even a loss. But yeah,
I think most people would. Tom, Antonio's becoming like the West Ham post. He's always delivering to Upton Park, and he did again tonight. He got on the score sheet again. What do you make of the goal, Tom?
I mean, it was a game of half chances. There wasn't really too many clear-cut, chances there. It was a fantastic header that he got on the end of, and I think Adrian summed him up brilliantly in the interview the other day. Was it when he called him the English Cafu? The fact that he can play at right back as well as up front or whatever, and I think he's been sensational. What a snippet! The price that we got him for, and his finishing really for the last few months has been immense.
Gonzo, to get the corner, I think Lanzini got the corner from nothing. It looked like he was going out for a goal kick, but Lanzini refused to give up, bore down that 10 yards and forced the corner. Have we been missing that when Lanzini's been out?
We have. We've been missing his technical skill, but I was really surprised at just how much pace that seemed to be evident when he did that, because he out-sprinted the defender, and then he sort of played the ball against him, didn't he, which then went out for the corner. But he showed real pace then, and it just goes to show you cannot put all your eggs in one basket with us anymore. If we've got Lanzini, Payet and Antonio on the pitch, you can't just go all in and mark one player, because the other guys will hurt you.
Tom, 1-0 up at half-time. Everyone's in dreamland. I was actually personally a little bit worried, because West Ham so far this season have been a West Ham of two halves in every single game we've seen. And I was worried we were going to see the ugly West Ham. But what were you thinking at the 45, Tom?
I was exactly the same as you. I texted my dad at half-time and I said, this has got to slip. Look how we did against Sunderland the other day. Great first half, second half, and and they came at us. And Spurs have a lot more quality than Sunderland have to offer. So I thought we're going to be on the back foot the whole second half. Again, as the half went on, I kind of grew in confidence, but then Ginge went off, and I was a bit nervous again because they stuck Reece Oxford in there. But we've just shown tremendous courage this evening to pull that performance out of the bag. We really have.
Gonzo, Tom mentioned there Ginge went off injured. Just before that, though, and for the whole second half, it looked like Ogbonna had a knock. He was limping terribly but just before Collins went off. Are we quite lucky now that Ogbonna didn't go off, looking at Collins' injury?
No, I don't think luck comes into it, actually. I think Ogbonna, Tom talks about courage. I think we do have courage to get a player to come over from Italy, and then he's taken a little while to settle maybe, but he looks an exceptionally good central defender now. And you know what? Clearly he just played through the pain barrier and was obviously saying, no, you know what, I'll run it off, I'll go through it. But that bravery and that courage, that has to come from the manager. And what a big call it was to bring Reece Oxford on. It shows such faith in Oxford. And it's a real brave thing to do in a game of such high importance. I mean, he could have brought Alex Song on and shuffled things around a bit, gone two at the back, Kiate, and Ogbonna at the back, and just move things around a little bit. It was really brave to bring Oxford on and then say, right, okay, you're going to play as a sweeper. And there was a point near the end where actually he was telling Kiate where to stand. And I tell you what, that says everything. I think it's absolutely brilliant. We've almost got everything we want. We've got flair players, we've got young players coming into the team. We're riding high in the league. It's an absolute celebration for our last season at the Bowling. It's fantastic.
Well, at the time, I'm not going to lie, I was sitting here, I was urging Ogbonna to go down and go off if he was injured because I thought he was going to cost us. Lamella had that diving header, which Ogbonna didn't get back for because he was too injured. Luckily, I was wrong. Ogbonna was right. Tom, I don't want to talk about the referee too much. I think he bottled it when Emenike shrugged Wimmer off the ball and then Wimmer pulled him down. Now, the referee never blew his whistle until the Tottenham player committed the foul, and that would have been a second booking. Do you think he's bottled that, Tom?
I won't, say the words that I was saying when I was watching the game, but it was one of those 50-50 things. I mean, he pulled him back, and then Wimmer made more of an obvious foul, I think, on Emenike. I mean, it was very 50-50. I wasn't sure. I saw it in real time. I thought, oh, ref, foul, whatever, blah, blah. But it was 50-50. For me, it wasn't. I don't think. That's obviously just my own opinion, but for me, I don't think, because there was a little tug back off the side from Emenike. Not that you could see it as much as the other pull from Wimmer, but I think that it should have maybe just been. I really don't know, but for me, not sending off or anything.
My argument isn't so much that I think Emenike did foul him, but the referee never blew for it. My argument is when you watched it from the other angle, from the camera in the chicken run, you can see Emenike tug him. The referee doesn't blow until Wimmer pulls Emenike down. Then he blows and gives a free kick to Spurs. And I think Andre Marner has chickened out in that one in front of the chicken run. Gonzo, knock.
Who's there?
Mister
Who?
Mr. Sitter. In other words, Harry Kane. Now, he missed two glorious chances tonight, didn't he?
Kicks the air, scuffed the top of the ball twice. I tell you what, if that's the best England have got going into the European Championships, they're in trouble. And I don't say this in hindsight. I'm not a fan of him. He's not quite quick enough to be a top striker. He's not quite good enough in the air. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. And I'll tell you something else. They're severely lacking in a bit of pace, actually, that Tottenham team. The pace required to win a title. I also think they're lacking in bottle and courage, which we had. There was a lot of... I'm a bit sick, actually, because I've listened all day to everybody going on about Tottenham, how Tottenham are going to overtake Leicester. I switched the radio on in the van on the way home. It was Danny Kelly, who's a Tottenham fan, and Darren Goff. Darren Goff's a Barnsley fan, but he also supports Tottenham, as he readily admits. It was Tottenham this, Tottenham that, and I understand you've got to talk about them a little bit, but it was almost like we didn't count. We weren't going to factor into this at all. And I tell you what, there was a lot of talk from the Tottenham fans about Arsenal bottling it the other day, which they did. But I tell you what, I think Tottenham are lacking a bit of heart, a bit of courage. I think they're lacking pace, and I think they're lacking quality. And I'd say certainly, I thought a lot of the better players on the pitch are our players today.
I quite agree with that. Tom, looking at our striker, we've got Sacco and Carroll back. However, was that, despite the fact he scored 2 at Ewood Park, considering the opposition, was that Emenike's best game for West Ham?
I'm actually glad that you asked me this because I was thinking about it during the game. I don't care that Emenike didn't score tonight. I care for the fact that he ran his socks off for 70 minutes. He put Lloris under pressure. The amount of times Lloris was scuffering and kicked the ball out. I think with Emenike, he's the kind of guy. He's got that pace, and he can really, put an effort in and push, the keeper and the back four to make mistakes. And if he gets a goal, so what? We know he played against Blackburn the other day, and it's Blackburn. It's a championship side, so I would expect him to pick up goals. But I think when Sacco comes back, obviously he will be the main man, with Carroll maybe and Emenike in tangent. But I don't care he scored tonight, just simply for the fact that he, again, showed courage and heart, and he just put his all in.
I quite agree with that. I thought he was fantastic. And he got Wimmer booking, and then Pochettino then took Wimmer off. He needed to do an attacking change anyway. It forced the Tottenham manager to get his centre half off because he did that foul on what we just spoke about again. So Pochettino obviously thought Emenike's got the better of him. I need to get him off the park at some point. And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to force the opposition manager to make changes he doesn't want to make. Gonzo, you've just been talking. It's all about Tottenham. It's all about Tottenham. Now we're all about West Ham. Let's talk about West Ham. Gonzo, tonight Man City have lost. Arsenal have lost. We're now 1 point off the top 4. 1 point off the top 4. There's a smaller gap between West Ham and the top 4. There's actually a smaller gap between us and Arsenal, who are sitting third, than there is between Arsenal and Leicester, who are top. Are we top four contenders, Gonzo?
Oh, listen, I mean, I'd like grinning like a Cheshire cat. Couldn't believe it. I said to you on the preview that after whatever it was, 27 games, whatever I said, you're not up there by accident. I said it's not October. We played a lot of the big teams, and you've got to start looking and thinking, well, actually, the accumulation of points over the whole season dictates and suggests that we should be up there. We deserve, everybody in the league is exactly where they deserve to be right now. Leicester are top, they deserve to be top. Aston Villa are at the bottom, they deserve to be bottom. They've been rubbish, okay? If we are sitting 1 point off Champions League, it's because we deserve to be, and there's no doubt about it. And what I just want to say is, we did a video in the week, and we were outside the ground, and one of our fellow fans, Ozhammer from Australia, he commented on how happy everyone looked in and around the ground, that there was a real feel-good factor. And I'm really glad that sort of translated into a video over there, because it's exactly what's going on. Because last season, it was terrible. It was doom and gloom, and fair play to the board for changing for Bilic, because it was an absolute masterstroke. Because if we'd have still had Sam there for the last season of the Bowl, it would have been terrible. And I can't think of a more fitting way to see out our last season at the Bowl-in, with wonderful football, these wonderful players taking risks, attacking. Like, crikey, Payet's corners tonight, and bringing on Oxford, and just to be that close to the end of the season, and we are a point off the top four. Fantastic.
Well, someone get Gonzo tissue, because I think he's welling up over there. Tom, do you think we're top four contenders?
I mean, I'm glad that you asked this question to Gonzo first. I watched the preview, and I remember he said everybody's where they are because they're there on merit, and I not agree more. Do I think top four's maybe a little bit too far for us going into the Olympic Stadium? I mean, we could get top four. Don't get me wrong, but is Champions League football a bit too much for us going into next year? Maybe. Europa League, I would like, whatever. But people will have to start taking us seriously now. They can't go into games thinking, oh, okay, it's West Ham, they're a bit of a breeze. If this was last year with Sam, we went up to January, everyone's thinking, oh, great, but Sam bottled it in the second half of the season. Slaven's not done that, and we are here because of the way we've played and how we've played, and we deserve to be here. Don't forget, we've got a massive say. I remember thinking Tony Gale said it as well in the thing. We have got a massive, say in how this title race goes. We've still got to play Leicester, and we've still got to play Arsenal. It's unbelievable that where we are at this point in the season saying that, and I love the fact that we haven't bottled it the second half and we are challenging it. It just shows, again, like I said, the courage that we have here at this football club and the mentality that Slav has instilled inside these players. It is honestly immense. It's fantastic.
Well, that was the second hardest question. You've got the harder question coming up. For me, Saturday is massive. Away to Everton. I think that's huge. If we're top four or just Europa League, Saturday will let us know. And you can join us for our preview on that. You've just heard us bigging up our own preview for this game, and you can hear our thoughts tomorrow night. We'll be previewing the Everton game. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel while you're here, and come talk to your West Ham fans. hammerschat.forbes.net, and obviously go on to clientview.info to keep up with the team news ahead of the big game at Goodison Park. Now it's time for the hard question. Good luck with this one, boys. Tom, man of match time.
Oh my word. Okay. I'm going to highlight a few individual performances. I think Kouyaté slotted in brilliantly this evening. Antonio shows that he can slip in at right back. No issues whatsoever. Obiang, again, fantastic. But I'm going to have to say, for me, Mark Noble, because for the last month or since the turn of the year, he has just grown in confidence game after game. And, if he doesn't get an England call-up come the next squad's around, I would honestly be shocked. That man is bleeds claret and blue. He's given his heart for us, but he's done it in a way this year. We all knew he did it a few seasons ago and since he's been at the club, but he's just put in performance after performance. And yet again tonight, he has shown why he deserves where he is. I think he's been nominated for Player of the Month, fully deserved, and yet again, another fantastic performance this evening.
Gonzo?
Everything that Tom said, really, notable mentions. You asked a question to Tom, Emenike. We're quick enough to praise ourselves when you get something right. I've got to say, I might have got it wrong about Emenike. He Yeah, he impressed me tonight for all the reasons Tom said so well earlier. I'm not going to go for a player, actually, as easy, but I'm going to give the bubbly to Bilic, because I thought tonight he really earned the champers. He totally bamboozled Pochettino, totally bamboozled him. He bamboozled me. I spent 5 minutes, and we knew we were going to do a half-time show. I'm a bit of paper out trying to work out what formation we were playing. It was fantastic, and Spurs never really recovered, and by the time they got a foothold in the game, it was too late. We'd shut up shop with our excellent defenders. Fantastic. Let's give it to Bilic.
You can't really argue with that. I think it's obvious I'm going to give it to. I'm the biggest fan of Mark Noble walking. I think even when he plays crap, I still stick up for him. I love him. I just love him to bits. And you know, something strange. It's a wee bit gay, but I don't care. I'm proud of him tonight. I'm actually proud watching Mark Noble play for West Ham tonight. But anyway, that's it from us. It's time for us to say goodbye. So it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Tom.
Goodbye.
That's the Dele Alli wave.
Thank you for watching.